Chrisean Rock has finally had it with her toxic ex BlueFace, and she is putting him on blast publicly for the way he has been treating her throughout her pregnancy. Now we all know that their relationship is one of the messiest news that we have seen in Hollywood, and it never seems to get better. They always had a pattern that they repeated. They would get into the worst fights and even try to hit one another in public, calling each other names and lashing out at each other. They would tell the world that they were breaking up, but before we knew it, they were back together and saying that they were stronger than ever. Now we don't even need to point out how all of this is toxic. But it seems like things are finally over between the two, and people are finally hearing the truth about their relationship through Chrisean.
That's $60,000 in a weekend, plus the $200,000 we make together. Cause I end up putting my checks combined when we did. And then for me to have not a dollar in control in my name on purpose.
And when we say it's messy, we mean it's messy. Now some of you might know how Chrisean became pregnant with BlueFace's child a while ago, and she just had her baby. People thought that BlueFace was going to get better after that, but he literally got so much worse than he was before. We are going to talk all about that and much more on the celebrity hype today. But before we get to spilling all that hot tea, welcome back. And if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads, and give this video a big thumbs up. Now we all know how toxic this relationship has been ever since it started. It wasn't this bad when it was their first few months together, but we could argue that that was just the honeymoon phase and all was well. It wasn't long before there was trouble in paradise, and the two were fighting with each other constantly.
When you do make those threats, when you do get all like that, you just know my back against the wall, yo. It's hard to leave something that you worked hard for.
And they didn't even try and do it privately. Their relationship and its issues were so public that literally everyone knew about them. What made it worse was how they would sometimes even physically try and hit the other person in front of people if the other one got on their nerves. And if that wasn't bad in itself, they would constantly call each other names and put each other down. So it's safe to say that their relationship was anything but good. People always wondered why they were still together. Every time that they would get into a huge fight, they would tell people that it was over and that they were going to move on. But a few days later, they would be posting pictures together at events, having the time of their lives. Now we know what you're thinking. This looks like a classic high school relationship because of how immature and toxic it is. And people thought that they were going to leave it at that and not take any serious steps forward in the relationship. But before you know it, Chrisean announced that she was pregnant, and it was in fact the child of BlueFace that she was carrying. Now this is where the drama got real. BlueFace started talking crap about Chrisean and calling her all sorts of stuff. People were shocked at Chrisean for having BlueFace's child. Like Miss Girl, there were so many options, and out of all the men in the world, you decided to have a kid with him. Now that is insane. While the world talked about how Chrisean was having BlueFace's child, there was one person who disagreed, and it was none other than BlueFace himself. In a tweet, he said that he didn't believe that she was carrying his child to begin with. But wait, it gets worse than that. He followed up by saying that she had slept with more than 10 different men that year, so he isn't sure if that child is even his. Ending his statement, he said that the only way he would accept the child as his own was if he saw a DNA test result confirming everything. Now, if you think all of this is bad, wait till you hear about how he told Chrisean to get an abortion and threatened to kick her in her stomach while she was pregnant. But before we get to spilling all the tea on that, make sure to share this video with a friend who might enjoy our content, and give this video a big thumbs up while you're at it too. Now let's get to the worst part of this whole thing. According to a video that Chrisean posted where she talked about everything, she exposed how BlueFace treated her while she was pregnant. She said that he told her that he was going to kick her in the stomach. Now, before we go on and tell you about what he said next, the information might be sensitive to some of our viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. He said that he was going to kick her in the stomach, have her bleeding out for months, and let her die.
Look a killer in his eyes. Like, you don't think I'll kill you and kick you in your stomach and you be bleeding for months? Like, then he took my phone, make sure I wasn't recording and none of that. Like, all right, long story short, right? I try to get up. He like, make one more step to the door. I'm up. Like, yo was like psychopathically weird.
So he basically threatened to kill her. But why? Well, we will tell you all about it. Although she didn't talk about the reason behind his threats, fans think the reason is pretty obvious, especially after everything that he posted on his social media. In one of the tweets, he said that Chrisean should just get an abortion because he was not a good father and he would never be able to be a good father to the child. Well, isn't that something he should have thought of before getting her pregnant? Anyways, he said it all in one of the worst ways possible, and to make it even worse, he posted it all on X, formerly known as Twitter. He thought that people would stop attacking him after that, but none of it helped. And he still didn't do anything to make the situation better, because what happened recently just rubbed everyone the wrong way, and the whole internet is siding with Chrisean to put her baby daddy on blast for what he did. Now Chrisean, as some of you might already know, finally gave birth to her child. It was a beautiful son, and she decided to share her special moments with the whole world. And we mean literally. You see, before she was about to go into labor, she decided to go live on her Instagram account and show all of her fans what was going on in her room. One thing that we all noticed was how she had a lot of people around her, but there was one person who was nowhere to be seen in the video, and it was none other than the literal father of the child. Yes, you heard that right. BlueFace was nowhere to be seen, and fans started calling him out on being a deadbeat father. Chrisean talked about childbirth and how she felt during all of that as well. She said that she was scared that she might be making the wrong choice, and she was especially terrified when she saw what was growing inside of her. But the moment she got to hold her child, she knew all the pain and hurt was worth it. It was one of the best feelings of her life. She is finally leaving BlueFace as well after everything that he did and the way he treated her, but fans think it's more for her child than it is for her. She knows what kind of a monster BlueFace is, and she doesn't want her son to grow up next to such a man. And honestly, that is very understandable. Do you think BlueFace is going to respond to everything that Chrisean said? What do you think he's going to say? Let us know all your thoughts and predictions about this messy relationship in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this one in the future. And with all of that said, as always, we will see you in our next video with some new juicy gossip about your favorite celebrities.